it's medical health, the big names and all the science, all the confusion is just made to boggle your mind, because how could you ever even think of looking after yourself? Well, first you'd have to think. And once you started thinking that you can, you will. And that's how it works, because thoughts are everything. So what do you think about yourself? Do you believe that you can look after yourself? And if you can't, understand something. That can change today. It can change today. What do you want out of your life? What is your passion? What is your purpose? What were your dreams that you decided to just put over here because somebody told you you couldn't have them? Well, that's not true. I'm going to have everything that I want because there's enough of everything to have that. And understand, if you want to become the practitioner you seek, then you should embrace honoring, loving, protecting, and respecting yourself, and holding the loving line against everyone else and everything else. And understand something. You shouldn't have to have a reason to smile. You should have a slight smile on your face. And how do you react when there's trauma, drama, chaos in your life? Okay? What does it take for you to fall apart? And you can think what you want, but I'm never going to fall apart again. And if I do, I'm going to catch myself within 30 seconds. It'll be 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, I got this. And then you're going to go, don't get too cocky, Darrell. You get too cocky, too sure of yourself, it all falls apart. Whoever made that up? Who made that up? All right, so let's get started. So I want everybody to send in your live questions. You can do it on Facebook, Instagram, Doc of Detox Show, or Intercom. You could even call into our office if you didn't know how to do those things, and they'll get your question and they'll text it over to me. All right? All of the questions are going to come here by phone. All right? So feel free to do it. You know, let me tell you something. We work for you. We serve you. All your questions matter because guess what? You matter. Okay? So before we get started, I want to remind you that if you want to look at the most powerful bodywork class and understanding the human body, go to my A to Z Wellness Masterclass. It says Wellness Masterclass at the top of the website. Go to International Training Institute of Health website. Click on there. Then type in the word master, and you've got it for free. And then go read from page 5 to 40, and then tell me what you think. Tell me that you didn't get sucker punched. And then go to the video that relates to the joint, the joint problem, muscle problem, or the physical problem in your body. We've done videos on all of it. And let us explain what the medical system does and the way we would like to look at it. And tell me what you think. All right? You can have that masterclass for free instead of paying. And then the other thing is, in about 8 to 10 weeks, I'll be putting an I Am Woman masterclass on top of that one for you. All right? And for those of you that were calling in today, yes, we only have 2 spots left for the April course here. And that's for the Whole Life Coach and for the Wolfe Non-Surgical. So let us know if you're interested. And then the next major course that we're doing will be in Orlando, and it'll be at the Omni Resort. It's a 4.5-star resort, and we've got great rates, and we'll have our trainings there, and that'll be happening in September, okay? Also, I'm going to be in Orlando in March for 2 lectures on March the 7th, so watch my Facebook for notifications. One lecture is going to be called Inflammation to Cancer, because inflammation to cancer, a scar tissue issue. My second lecture is going to be Mind over Medicine, all right? And then, I'll tell you what, I think that this is the biggest event, the most powerful speaking event that I've been at. I really believe it's going to be that. And it's called Legends of Health, and it's in Toronto, and it's April the 3rd to April the 30th till May the 3rd, okay? And my first lecture is an 8-hour lecture, and it's how to thrive and stay alive on planet Earth. My next lecture, the next day, will be inflammation, okay? Cancer is an inflammation scar tissue situation. The next one will be Mind Over Medicine. And the last one will be Creating the Perfect Day for the Perfect Life. And then I'll also be on a panel of experts. And we will be putting information up on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm telling you, this is one of the most strongest panels because it's called Legends, right? And these are because most of these people are legends in health. And then my upcoming shows, we've been interviewing people now for a few weeks. Well, now the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing the show myself. So if you think you can handle just looking at me and me talking, then join us. Next Wednesday, February the 5th, I'm doing the All-American Couple, Spoiled Rotten. Okay, it's called Spoiled Rotten. Spoiled Rotten, the All-American Couple. And then on Monday, February the 10th, that'll be our next live Q&A at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the following Wednesday on February the 12th, oh, you're going to love this one. Break from the herd or go to the butcher. I'll let you decide what that's all about. So now let's start our questions, okay? First thing is, we have one that's already been sent in before I start. We always make these first. Tina, my doctor says a healing crisis is dangerous. How can I avoid a healing crisis? Okay, first of all, think about this. We've been taught to make pain an enemy. So how's that working out, trying to kill yourself? Because when you try to kill pain, you're trying to kill yourself. The next thing is that her MD actually told her that a healing crisis is a dangerous thing and could jeopardize her life. First of all, when we get sick, it's because the body's trying to get well. When you get a fever, you're trying to burn off an infection. When you get diarrhea, it's because you have a viral, bacterial, or parasitical infection, or you've been constipated so long that your body needs to blow the cork out. Do you get it? Nobody really enjoys diarrhea, but after you have it, you're tired, but you feel a lot better, and it just saved your butt and maybe a little bit more of your butt, okay? All right, so when you feel a spasm or a cramping in your body, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the body contracting, the cells contracting, saying, poison, get out of here. And the contracture is shutting down the cells so that viral, bacterial, fungal, and parasites don't attack that area. What are these guys even talking about? I want to know how they get away with making up this stuff. You know, if I went around making up BS, dysfunctional belief systems, I'd have everybody on my butt. You want to know the most amazing thing? Is that I can tell the truth, and it's totally logical, and I got still people bantering me on Facebook, bantering me on YouTube, and these are just people that are naysayers that are totally medical, and that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind the challenge. I don't mind if people don't like me. I don't mind if people don't like my beliefs. The reality is, my beliefs are harmonious with nature. My beliefs are harmonious with universal law. My beliefs are not harmonious with mankind. So if you're a follower of man, then of course you're not going to like my beliefs. And that's the bottom line right there. So understand something. A healing crisis, first of all, it is very rare for anyone that is going through my protocols to have a healing crisis. Oh yeah, guess what? Healing crisis is not needed to get well. A healing crisis happens with people who go, I'm going to cleanse every 3 to 6 months and I'm going to let all the crap pile up inside of me. And then when I feel like beep, dee, beep, and I want to clean all that out, then I'm going to do it. So then you clean out too fast, you're overburdened, you're going to have a healing crisis. If you do things properly, you don't have to have a healing crisis from constipation to cancer. Did you hear what I just said? You need to know how to bring up your vibration. We know how to do a water fast and have tons of energy without fevers and headaches and exhaustion by using things like fulvic, ATP. We have the only organic ATP in the world called ATP Plus. And by using Ormus minerals. And I'm telling you, you will breeze through this. And it bypasses the Krebs cycle. So there's no healing crisis. But people believe, it's the weirdest thing. People in natural health believe that you've got to go through a healing crisis to heal. And then guess what? You know, I was just on the phone with someone and she said healing crisis. And I go, Why do we all have to be such drama queens? Healing crisis. So healing is a crisis. You see? That's just like words are used against us, like health care, right? All right. Well, health care is not health care. Doctors don't even know about health. If you call that health, then that's why you're in trouble. Okay? So anyways, as far as the healing crisis goes, healing crisis is not dangerous, but it can be awful painful. And you don't have to have it if you know how to get the cork out, if you know how to do the ultimate coffee enema, if you know how to bring the frequency of the body up. But it's all about flow. So you're never going to have a crisis if you have flow. If you have blocks in your body and you try to detoxify the body and you come up against the block, that's when you're going to get into a crisis. And those blocks are basically emotional blocks, physical blocks, and the physical blocks are scar tissue, crystallization, and calcification, like I keep on saying. And if you haven't watched my yesterday's one-a-day, which is longer than usual, we won't do that again, and the other one today, you want to watch it. And you definitely want to watch my one tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to show you that I work on this beautiful lady for 10 minutes and I reduce her tumor by 50%. And I show it. I mean, I can't hide it. It's right on video. I'm right here. There's no smoke and mirrors. And the reason why I do this is I'm trying to show that, you know what? It's the craziest thing. You know, these great, and they are great clinics and hospitals in Mexico and around the world that are all natural, that do a lot of intravenous and a lot of energy medicine. They won't even touch the fibroid or the scar tissue and the calcium. Why not? We're missing the ball here. I'm going to show that when I go on this tumor and I actually pull the legs apart that are actually feeding the tumor, I don't even touch the tumor yet, and I just work on the legs, the tumor shrinks by 50%. I never even touched it. Now, are we onto something or what? I'd say so. Okay. Let me see here. Joe, will putting silver bullet into unfiltered water help get rid of the toxins in the water? Yes, it will, because it doesn't get rid of them. It creates an environment that they can't exist in. But why wouldn't you buy a structured water unit? That's what I would do. You know, I travel all over the world, and you can say I'm a nutbag, but if you look at the research that's out there, whether I'm in India, Mexico, or anywhere else, I just put this under the tap. If the water doesn't come out dirty, muddy, murky, then I just run it through this. Even when we have a boiled water advisory in this area, my neighbors will get sick, and we won't. We just put it under the tap, and we still do it. Look at structuring water is the miracle. That's what rainwater is. Rainwater's structured. So what about all the heavy metals and the acidity and the chemicals in there? Why aren't the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, the microorganisms being harmed? Well, because God knew that we were going to mess things up. There you go. So all we did was duplicate what the atmosphere does, and that's why we can structure. We can structure anything. Structure all liquids that go through here. Structure your coffee. You know, if you take wine and a quart of wine or even a quart of rye or whatever you want and put a couple ounces through, put it back into the bottle, you can drink the whole bottle, get drunk as a skunk and no hangover. Prove me wrong. I'd like to see you do that, because you won't get a hangover. Because structuring protects you, even though the physical components have not been taken out and filtered out. Because guess what? Tell me you've got a $10,000 filter. Tell me you got distilled water. Tell me you got reverse osmosis, and I'll tell you that, guess what? The worst part of the problem's still in there, because you still have the frequency of all the people that drank it. And remember that water goes from toilet to person 17 times on average before it goes into the atmosphere to be restructured, whereas I can restructure all the negative energy of the negative people that drink this. And there's a lot of negative people around. God love them, but you know, they don't know they're running dysfunctional belief systems and lowering their vibration, and their vibration goes into the water that they've drank, which they pee out. Are you with me yet? True story. So I can remove that. So I will always opt to filter out the invisible before the physical. Did you get that? All right. Oh, and wait a minute here. The invisible is just 10,000 times more powerful than the physical, because the invisible creates the physical, and I'm talking about your thoughts. All right. Oh, we're rocking today. See if I can keep up here. What do I do to help my 6-month-old with eczema? Well, your 6-month-old was born with eczema because you did antibiotics or they gave you antibiotics during pregnancy, okay? Or the baby was treated right away because they felt they needed to. You know, baby just doesn't have eczema. The baby gets eczema basically because there's antibiotics involved or steroids or something that's knocked the good bacteria out. And then if the baby didn't come down the birth canal and have its mouth open so that it could pick up all the different bacterias, the good, the bad, and the ugly from the mother, because you need it all, in the eyes, in the mouth, in the ears, on the skin, and a cesarean where they pull the baby out, bam, big mistake. So if you need to get a cesarean or you believe you're going to get one, get a 4-inch by 4-inch natural sponge, put it in the vagina a few hours prior to pregnancy, and then when the pregnancy comes, make sure you take that sponge and wipe it all over the baby in eyes, mouth, ears. I'm not kidding you. If you don't do this, they're not going to get the most important immunity, which is from you. I know I'm off track a little bit. Let me see here. And a 9-month-old with a cyst on the neck. Wow. Doctor went to remove the cyst while she is young, so she does not remember the pain. What are your thoughts? Also, my 3-year-old is often constipated. Well, everybody in your family is constipated. All right. First thing is it's the large intestine that is responsible for eczema and psoriasis. And let's not call them eczema and psoriasis. Now, psoriasis is just eczema not been treated properly. And eczema is just candidiasis, which is a fungal problem that roots itself through the large intestine and makes holes so that the fungus goes into the bloodstream, goes throughout the body, and comes out through the skin, okay? And the fungus used to be yeast, which you need in your large intestine, that turns into fungus because the good bacteria went into bad bacteria because mommy, before pregnancy or during pregnancy, or the baby when it was born, was mistreated. Treated but mistreated. You got to understand that antibiotics are just like they're like a lighter form of chemo. They wipe out your good bacteria. Antibiotics should be taken in life-threatening situations, or you're going to bloody well have a life-threatening situation if you keep taking them. Remember, when you're a health practitioner and in your arsenal you only have like 4 or 5 different things, you're probably going to be using the wrong things for the wrong times, aren't you? But if you're using Mother Nature and you deal with people on the emotional and the physical and the spirited side, you have a lot of different tools. But when you don't believe in the spirit, when you don't believe in that emotions have anything to do with it, when you believe that diet has nothing to do with health, when you believe that cleansing has nothing to do with health, oh my God, what a crippled situation. I mean, it's all just so ridiculous. I don't even know where to begin with this thing or even want to talk about it. It's like crazy. How can the majority of the population believe in something that doesn't believe in them? Go figure. Okay. All right. So, you know what? When somebody asks me a question like this about a 6-month, a 9-month, a 3-year-old, I mean, Paulina, you know what? With all this going on here, please don't get me wrong. Who are you married to? Is there emotional terrorism completely in your life all the time? What foods are in the cupboard? What foods are in the fridge? What thoughts are in your mind? All of this needs to be looked at. And remember something, Paulina, there's no good or bad here. These are just about you, but there's good and bad beliefs. And we need to take a look at what beliefs are setting you up and setting your children up for all these things. You know, so we got to think about, what is it you think? What is it you drink? What is it you eat? Who's your therapist? Okay? And who do you hang around with? And what kind of support are you getting from your husband? Okay? Or your partner, whoever that may be. Oh my gosh. You guys, the questions that are coming in here, I mean, Yeah, you guys are alive and kicking. So let me just say this, that if this keeps going on like this, we weren't going to do a Monday Q&A. But if this keeps up, we will do a Monday Q&A, Drake? Because they're popping here. So I'll let you know at the end of this, all right? Now, as far as you go, Paulina, I would really go and look at the Perfect Day Guide and go to page 37. Look what a perfect day diet is. I would look at the domino effect of unhealthy living. Watch the video or read the guide. But you really need to do that. And go and this week on Wednesday, I'm putting up Spoiled Rotten, right? Okay, the All-American Couple. All right, so I would look at that. But the reality is, with your children, daily cleansing tea. Call me and I'll tell you how much. That would be right here. I'll just show it once. I won't show it again during this course. And then also get your kids on Tummy Love. And right off the bat, just do those two things. It's not about overburdening you financially, and get them on structured water. And for God's sakes, please look at whole plant-based foods. All right? Just know this. With these kids, if you've got them on gluten, flour products of all sorts, any flour products, doesn't even have to have gluten in it. I don't believe in flour products. End of story. Because it's too light. It's not a grain that has a hull. It's not whole. It doesn't digest slowly. Flour products go in just like sugar. Get off of raw cane sugar, all right? And get them away from sugars. Get them away from dairy completely. That's a good place to start, all right? But there's something not right here. That's all I'm going to say. Like, this is detailed. Like, I would be in here for... This would be a consultation. If you want to get a consultation from me, it's a one-time fee. And then you're on your road. I give you a strategy. I tape it. And then you can call me. And you can say, well, yeah, but I can call you anyway. Yeah, but I'm going to give you a bunch of Band-Aids. But I'm not going to give you a strategy protocol called the Perfect Day. All right? Rachel. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have breast cancer stage 2. No surgery. Stage 2, it's not a big deal. It isn't. Everything is in the mind, okay? First thing before I read any further, Rachel, how stressed out are you? Do you have a slight smile on your face? Are you breathing in and out? Do you know who created you? Do you know that you created that cancer? Not intentionally. Understand that on an unconscious level, and you can't do better until you know better, so let's talk about that. No surgery, no cut, no chemicals for me. I've had mold intoxication and mold sealant exposure. Yeah, but I want to know what breast it is, because that also is going to tell me what emotions are tied in with it. And also, do you have any root canals? Okay. I feel better than 15 years ago. Good for you. I still have a lot of scar tissue and my breast is deformed now. I am here and want to continue my healing your way. I want to know what to buy from your website. I am learning from your masterclass. Can you please let me know what else I need to heal from completely? Thank you. You'll see me tomorrow reduce a tumor by 50% in 10 minutes. And you need to get Wolfe non-surgical work done on you, whether it's done here at the clinic or we come to you or you find a therapist in your way. Trust me. The best thing to do is to get your someone who's close to you, like if you have a partner or a sister or someone you trust that loves you and is passionate about the natural way, because that's what we do. We have 2 personal treatment and trainings going on right now where we're training these 2 groups, a family and also a husband and a wife here, as you saw them on my videos yesterday, today, and tomorrow, right? Anyways, remember something. If you have a technique that can remove scar tissue from the body, and if you understand about the Ultimate Coffee Emma, the Perfect Day diet, and then doing advanced water fasting, hell yeah, that's where it is right there. It's about you doing the most powerful things. And understand, what I just told you doesn't cost a lot. So we're looking at giving you back your power. And unless you want to take back your power, then you're in the hands of everyone else. I mean, nobody wants anybody, I don't want give anybody my money to do the spending for me, and I'm not going to give anybody my health to look after that either. Okay? You know, Rachel, I'm going to tell you to just keep on doing your research and watch Facebook, because I give a lot on there. And now we just hired another videographer. So we've got 2 of them, and the new one is from the BBC. So you're going to start seeing that we're going to get into more detailed, more organized video shooting that's going to be more on the training level. You know, my reality and my goal is I want to set up a way of doing things, because this is all a learning for me too. If you look at my videos a year ago now, there's been a big change. And eventually I just want to do all kinds of trainings. And if people never come to me, never call me, I know that they're going to take their power back. All right. Beth, hi, Dr. Wolfe. What would you do for a 93-year-old woman with macular degeneration, blurred or no vision in the center field? She gets around fairly well and seems younger than 93. Thank you very much. Okay. That is kind of a loaded question. First of all, 93 years old, by then they're beef jerky dehydrated, because nobody drinks enough water, and they really don't drink enough water, or we don't, okay? That's the reality. And you don't give me this 8 glasses a day thing, because guess what? When they brought that up, everything was natural. I mean, come on, just the EMF alone and the blue light is enough to cause a macular degeneration. If this lady has macular degeneration, then somebody should get together and buy her a pair of Tesla glasses. Because first of all, if she goes on computer, or any of the lights in the house now are LED, if she watches TV, okay, goes into a mall, I guarantee you this is the first thing, because Tesla glasses, they're not blue blockers. They take the most negative blue light and they turn it around to healing light. I can tell you right now that we have not just 1, not just 2, but countless people with macular degeneration that turned it around by using, and I'm just showing, okay, Bright Eyes. It's the only fulvic nano eye drops in the world, okay? And the other thing is the Silver Bullet spray. Okay, one sec. The Silver Bullet spray right here, okay? Now, the nano eye drops, what they do is they grab the heavy metals and the acidity, okay? And then the Silver Bullet spray creates an environment so the viruses and bacteria are not irritating the eye, because wherever there's weak tissue in the human body, there's a parasitical attack. Okay, think of Africa. Think of a herd of gazelle. Now think of the old gazelle that's injured and he's limping at the back. What happens to him? Well, you probably won't see him there by the end of the day. He's already somebody's barbecue. Do you understand? Some lion is going to take him down. Some cougar is going to take him down. And that's the way you look at it. Okay, so the weak get preyed on. So the weak tissue, whether it's the eye or anywhere else in the body, becomes a parasitical attack area. So that's why we want to create an environment to help to protect. And also, if I was 93 years old with macular degeneration, you have to understand something. The actual eyes are attached to the sinus, which are attached to the ears. It's just one big cave. I would have her doing also the fulvic and the silver and nebulizing, because when she takes that in, we want to disinfect the cave, because there's usually a lot of fungus, mold by the time you're 93 years old. Yeah, scar tissue, acidity, things of that nature. The other thing is, it's probably not affordable, but I would get a Bioptron light. You can look at Bioptron light on my website, go to the Energy Medicine Guide in my library, and watch what the scientist, how she talks about the Bioptron light being the only polarized full spectrum light that will actually heal the eye tissue. The other thing is I would do patting and clapping. Okay, so I have a picture. I could show it to you maybe next time, but there's a gentleman, his name is Bill, and Bill has cataracts. So Bill, I said, start patting and clapping here. So he sent me a picture, and his eye was, eye was black and bruised here. And I said, good for you, Bill. and this guy's a real positive guy. When he came to us a year ago, if you ever watched my one-a-days, you would see that he came here for personal treatment and training, and we did a video on him. But he started doing this, and remember something. He's got cataracts, and he's starting to lose his eyesight. Now it's coming back. And so I had him do the patting and clapping here. So this area bruised, and I said, Bill, you just keep it up, dude, because guess what? In a couple of weeks, he'll do it, and it'll never bruise again. What's the bruising? Well, I don't know. When fruit goes bad, it bruises, right? When vegetables go bad, they rot, don't they? And they kind of get fungusy and they bruise. When we get older, we get bruisey Susie if we don't look after ourselves. Oh, geez, I didn't even bang into that and I'm bruised, right? So understand, by doing the patting and clapping, you're bringing out the disease. All right. So that's important. Are her bowels moving? Is she drinking structured water? Is she living in a nursing home where they're just feeding her all kinds of processed foods and chemicals and drugs? Well, forget it. Then you're fighting a battle here. But at least get her these products here, right? And again, we're back to the perfect day guide. And wow, if we could do an enema every day for probably 2 or 3 weeks on this woman to get her liver cleaned, the liver is connected to the eyes, isn't it? Wow, isn't that something? And macular degeneration is where she's so acidic that she has autoimmune disease in her eyes and her eyes are being attacked. There you go. I hope that answered the question. Okay. It's just that they jump around. I still get diarrhea from the tea and pain, so I stopped. Iris, you should be on Black Gold, Tummy Love, and Diatomaceous Earth. Pure and clean Diatomaceous Earth. Call me. Do those 3 things, and if you're taking the daily cleansing tea, it's not a laxative. It's not a stimulant. It means that you have infection in there. So we've got to bring up the quality of the good bacteria and bring down the inflammation, right? I would also be taking a look at our Curcumin Cayenne 5000 and taking 1 cap just once a day to start and to bring down the inflammation. And I would be on the Tummy Love at least maybe about, I'd say, to start 1 teaspoon in a quart of water twice a day, and then a level teaspoon of Black Gold in a blender drink twice a day. And if you got diarrhea and that's easy, then I would suggest, I don't know what your weight is, but I would suggest that you take a look at doing blender drinks and doing salads, but not with cauliflower or broccoli. And then maybe you could add some avocado on the salads and more of a whole plant-based, and that should stop with just in a few days. All right? You better cut out any bread, dairy, sugar, flour. I hope that helps. But again, we're back to the perfect day, so I'd like you to look at that. And then I'd like to know your weight. So Iris, if you want to give me a call sometime, please go ahead and do that. What should a person with leaky gut do to get healthy? Mary, leaky gut is caused from fungal problems. Get it? Because fungus drills holes in your intestines. Yeah, isn't that great? Now, here's the one. I just want to explain this to everybody so you get it. Okay, so have you ever gone out into the bush where a tree fell down, and then when the tree falls down, it doesn't have life in it? So what happens is then you start seeing all these holes in it. Okay, well, that's because the same type of thing. These are parasitical critters that are drilling holes through the tree that's dead or dying to return the tree back to make it into soil to feed the trees that are still living. Well, that's what's going to happen to you. So the reality is through the inflammatory diet and the inflammatory thoughts, because we're not loving and protecting and forgiving ourselves, we create inflammation on a physical and emotional level in our body. Your intestines have 1 cell thick, and that's replaced every few hours, but you can burn it out through an inflammatory diet and mind. And then what happens if you do like antibiotics, or you're like a wine drinker where it's not organic wine, And if you drink too much wine, then you're an alcoholic, and that's too much sugar. But if you had you could have a glass of wine every day if it was organic, but people don't usually drink organic wine. And real true. See, wine is actually can be medicinal, but not by the quart, and even if it's organic. And it's definitely not medicinal for the wine that you buy at the liquor store here. So you might as well forget that. You need to get this. There's so much corruption out there that people who actually make wine and beer and alcohol do not have to state all the chemicals and poisons in it. Okay, so you're getting scooped on that one. So now let's take a look at it. So now you took antibiotics, or now you're drinking all this putrefactive wine, and beer is just fermented sludge, as far as I'm concerned. And so what happens is, if you take in things to cause more fermentation, and if you don't eat right, then you ferment too fast. We call that putrefaction. And then if you take antibiotics, that even makes it worse. Then the yeast in the body goes into a fungus. The fungus then drills holes. Now, why is that? The fastest way that you can turn on the death bug, and the death bug is Candida. Now, fungus, it drills holes in the body, but it's supposed to start drilling holes when you are ready to leave the planet. That's just like people who have brown spots on their hands, their face, their body. They call it brown spots, liver spots, sun spots. It's mold. You're an oldie moldy. Those liver spots would go away if you cleaned up your liver and you cleaned up your lifestyle. Okay, so so what I like to call the Candida is drill bit predators, because that's what they're doing, is they're actually drilling holes into you. Okay, I've just got to find my place here, everyone. There's so many questions coming in here. Okay, I'm almost there. All right, so I can't find hers right now. Hi, can distilled water and reverse osmosis water be healthy to drink? It's not. Where do you find reverse osmosis and distilled water in nature? Okay, first of all, mankind, don't listen to mankind. Look at nature. Look at Mother Nature. Mother Nature cares. Mankind's not kind. That's the rule right there. Okay? If you use a structured water unit, you brought it back to life. Absolutely. Now you've got a purified water, and then you've got to run it through a structure unit. Okay? I might even run it through twice and really bring up the vibratory level. Okay? It's like giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to the water. It brings it back to life. Next, after a 14-day liquid fast for cancer, what would be the best choice of food to break the fast with? Celery juice and veggie broth or bone broth. Your choice. So if it's a 14-day water fast, you want to take 7 days to come out of it. Make sure that you practice your breathing. Make sure you do your belly button therapy. Really important to keep yourself in that parasympathetic state. Try to practice the pelvic activation and the pelvic squat. Okay, that's really important too. Do you want to really open up that pelvic floor? All right, you'll see why. And make sure that you're drinking lots of structured water. Okay. Is there a way to Shaman, YouTube, is there a way to prepare for a colonoscopy that won't make so sick? Well, first of all, colonoscopies were basically kind of outlawed 50 to 75 years ago. I can't give you the exact date, okay? Because they were said to be more dangerous than they're worth. And understand something. For myself, I will never go for a colonoscopy. I do the daily cleansing tea, okay? And I do the tummy love, and I do curcumin cayenne, and I have a really good diet. People need to go for a colonoscopy, those people that know that they're not honoring and respecting their body, because they need to see if their misbehavior and not honoring themselves has got them into trouble yet. Okay? It's all about loving yourself. And what can you do? Well, I don't know. I would be going, if I was going for a colonoscopy, which I wouldn't, I would probably do coffee enemas for about a week. And I would really kind of clean out, get my energy levels up. And I would also go on Tummy Love. I'd go on Black Gold, and I'd go on a Perfect Day diet that you can see in my Perfect Day guide around page 40. All right? And it would be a whole plant-based. You want a bunch of dead animals down there? Meat, dairy, cheese, all that stuff, and a bunch of bread that's all gummed you up? No. Let's be cleaned out, because the problem is when they go in with the colonoscopy, you don't want a bunch of mucus in there where all of this barium is going to stick inside of you. That is a big problem, okay? And do whatever you want. I'm never telling anybody what to do when it comes to the medical system. It's your body. It's just not my choice, and I will never need one. And you'll only really need one when you're not really looking after the holy grail of all the organs, which is your large intestine, which houses 85% of your immune system, which the medical system doesn't even recognize. But meanwhile, the Royal Society of Medicine did an actual study, and this is in England, did an actual study on the large intestine, and they said at minimum it is responsible for 85 to 95% of all disease. Go figure. Well, it would be. It's 85% of your immune system. Diana, is there such thing as a premenopausal symptoms? Yes, of course there is, but it's called constipation, not drinking enough water, and having an inflammatory diet. I am fairly healthy individual in my mid-40s. I have several symptoms for the last 6 months. Well, for one thing, if you're in your 40s, you're starting to break down, because if you're the average person who follows the herd, then you understand that a 40-year-old person already has autoimmune disease. And that's the truth. 92% of the population at 40 years old has autoimmune disease. Go figure. Okay? So that's that. So as long as you follow the herd, you're going to have symptoms. I have several symptoms for the last 6 months. Weight gain, of course you do, because guess what? Your metabolism's slowing down. Your liver's also getting clogged, because hardly anybody believes in doing the ultimate coffee enema using Black Gold and Tummy Love. And if you did that, you would triple your energy levels in 10 days. Go figure. And that's what? Going to cost you what? $1 a day. All right? Muscle joint aches. Well, that's right, because you've been backing up waste and constipated. Not that you didn't go to the bathroom, but you poop like everybody else, which is really lousy. Okay? People don't go to the bathroom properly. They don't understand that the large intestine is the garden of life. It's not a garbage can. Okay? It creates the most intelligent microorganisms in the body called bacteria that are the real true brain, because your brain is not your thinking. Your brain is not for thinking. Your brain is for running programs, and it's also for dumping chemicals and hormones into the body, depending on what you eat and how you think. The muscle joint pains is just lactic uric acid and scar tissue buildup and displaced calcium. Decreased eyesight? Yeah, of course. Well, everybody's going to have it. Your liver's gunked up, okay? And your bloodstream is getting dirtier. You have less energy. You don't digest your food as well as you used to. All right? So, and the other thing is all the blue light from the LED in your home, watching on an LED screen. Okay, that's why I have these around my neck all the time. And if I wasn't on with you guys right now, then I'd be wearing them, because I won't go on a computer. I'm not going to watch TV. I don't even go to movies without these things, right? Because I'm going to protect my eyes. You can believe this or not believe this. When I was in my early 20s, I was supposed to wear glasses. I still didn't wear them, but I'd have problem reading. Okay? Now I'm almost 64 years old. I have no problem reading. How is that? Oh, you're just supposed to get worse, right? Well, no. You need to line yourself up with nature. That's what we need to do. Low iron levels? Well, okay. This low iron level thing has just gone through the roof. And let me just tell you right now, the low iron level, let me just get this on. The low iron level is actually your bacteria, which are getting transformed into bad bacteria, good guys going bad guys, okay? It's supposed to be responsible for picking up the iron. So when your bacteria get back in shape, you'll be picking up the iron, be able to lift iron. Do you understand? And that's really the problem. I have people saying, oh, I'm taking iron all the time, I can't absorb it. All right, and that's the main reason. Okay, now we just jump. Every time that somebody sends in something, here it jumps. I have several. Low ferritin, and I am grieving the loss of my mom from cancer. Okay, are these symptoms from hormones of stress? You know what? From stress, yes, they are. And understand something. Guess what? Everybody's treating hormones today. You know, everybody's treating hormones, and I'm not telling you not to do it. Before I even look at the hormones, I'm going to look at detoxification, and I'm going to look at the person's stress levels, and we're going to get balance in the body, and the chances are that that person needs hormone therapy is so minimal. That's it. But there's no money in that, is there? Okay? Follow the money. Follow the money. All right? So she's grieving. Okay, so I just want you to know something. How you react to every crisis will decide on the disease you have. The longer you grieve, okay, and the harder you grieve, the more you're going to destroy your immune system and the sicker you're going to become. And that's the law. So I need you to understand that. That is the law. Now, when I was younger, not much younger, just a few years ago, when people pass on, like relatives, a couple of my kids would say, Dad, you're heartless. Now that my kids are getting older, they see I wasn't heartless, that I kept my heart full of love for myself and not destroy myself. When we have someone that passes on in our family or someone close to us, you're going to know how much you relied on them to fill up your heart, because that's how much your heart's going to be empty. Some of you aren't going to get this, and you're going to think that I'm as cold as ice. I am not. If I was cold as ice, I wouldn't be here. If I was cold as ice, I wouldn't be devoting my life to trying to teach people that self-love is the answer, not love. You need to learn how to totally love yourself, fill up your own heart. When my parents left, did I miss them? Absolutely. But did I destroy myself? No. When somebody passes in a family, we usually have within 2 years, one person with heart disease and one with cancer. Tell me I'm wrong. Or when you go into so much fear and anxiety because someone passed, your body will put you into depression because you're going to stroke out. So how long should you suffer when it's only natural that everyone will leave their body behind? It was just a vehicle, but their spirit will move on to another adventure. I don't know what your beliefs are, and it doesn't really matter. There's so many different religions and so many different stories. But I will tell you the one story. We all come from the same place. We're all going back, and we are eternal spirits. So you can decide to put a smile on your face and think about all the things that your mother shared with you, all the good times. When do you want to rewrite this story? When do you want to rewrite this story, Diana? Do you want the story of how miserable you are, how lonely you are, how empty you are, how brokenhearted you are so you can have heart disease? Or do you want the story that every time you think about her, you go and you snap your love band, 3, 2, 1, I got this, and then start thinking about all the beautiful things and times that you had with your mother and how you're going to teach that and pass that gift on. And every time that you want to talk to your mother, why don't you just find a quiet place and close your eyes, connect to your breath, and have a beautiful conversation with her? How you decide to look at this is up to you. But I'll tell you something, you're running a suffering program, and guess what? God, your family, and everybody else, they're not going, oh my gosh, you know. And here's the thing, you know what? Whether you want to believe this or not, when somebody gets sick in the family, He who suffers the most loves the most. How's that for a sick belief? Okay? Wow. She loved her mother so much she made herself sick. She's in the hospital. Wow. She loved her mother so much and misses her so much that she's in the room depressed. She loved her mother so much that she won't allow herself to find joy, bliss, and happiness. She won't allow herself to be healthy. Is that what your mother wants for you? How much do you believe, Diana, your mother wants you to suffer? Wow, your mother must have been something else to want you to suffer. And you're saying, that's not true, Darrell. She doesn't want me to suffer. Then why are you? Well, because I miss her. Well, listen to me. You need to learn to look after Diana now. You need to learn that Diana is allowed to feel joy all day long, no matter who passes on. And if you can get there, then maybe you can stop the family curse of suffering. I know it's a touchy subject, and some people are probably a little pissed off at me right now, but I hope that you take it the right way. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. What do you recommend for lung infections for children? I have your nebulizer and colloidal silver that I use. Well, I'd use the Fulvic Nano Bright Eyes eye drops, and you can use those too. But I would also do patting and clapping on their chest to loosen up the congestion, to get the stem cells going, to increase the circulation, but it's their bowels. And remember something. Why are they having trouble breathing? What is the fear that your children have? Think about that. But you better get their bowels moving, because the bowels are directly connected to the lungs. Okay? And you better get rid of all the inflammatory foods. Honey, would you like a treat? You better stop that one too, because the sugar is going to feed the bacteria or the virus or the fungus that's in their lungs, and it's going to create more irritation, which creates more inflammation, which creates more mucus, which means it's going to choke them up. Like I said, I get their bowels moving, get them on the daily cleansing tea, get them on the tummy love, and should also be rubbing on their chest, okay? You can rub on their chest, which is called Lung Restore, and I would rub that, and then I would pat their chest, and I'm telling you, it will come around. And make sure your kids are drinking enough water, and get them off of any fruit juice. No fruit juice. No fruit juice, but they can have like lemons or limes or things of that nature. Let me see here. Hi, Joyce. I'm considering having dental work done within the next few months. I don't know what the safest way. Dentures, partials, implants. I'm not into implants at all. I have 2 older root canals. What would you recommend? Well, for one thing, whether you want to believe this or not, I've got a big gap right here. Okay? Because I had to have teeth pulled. I'm never going to put a root canal in, and just get the root canals out. And if you can't notice them, I promise you can still chew your food. I'm missing teeth. My father believed in 2 things. When I was a kid, a younger child, I'd go to the dentist, and the dentist would say, okay, here's the deal. I can fill it for 20. I can pull it for 5. It was, pull it out. You know, I had really bad dental care when I was younger. But the reality is if you get those root canals pulled, that's the best thing you can ever do. And the reality is if nobody can see them, okay, I promise you, don't jump the gun and don't listen to the dentist. I promise you that you've got enough teeth to chew. I go through this almost every day with people. Yeah. If you have anything else you want to ask, you can put it in the next Q&A. Hilda, I can't fall asleep at night without rocking back and forth for at least a half an hour first. Is there something behind that or just a habit? Guess what? Are you ready for this, Hilda? When I was younger, 8 years old, 10 years old, till I was 10, I used to bang my head like this on the pillow when I'd go to sleep, and it was anxiety and fear, and that's what you've got. Now, you're going to tell me I don't have any, and I'll say, no, You're just running the program. Let me tell you something, Hilda. Do you have to think about how to put your pants on or how to go to the bathroom and wipe your bum? No. Do you have to think about how to feed yourself? No. Well, guess what? That whole rocking back and forth, you've been doing it for so long that it's just a program. Oh, look at that. It's 10 o'clock and it's time for bed. Well, Hilda, it's time for you to rock. Okay, so belly button therapy before you sleep, connecting and doing the lion heart breathing, and then focus on what a beautiful day you had and how grateful you are, and then all the beautiful things that you're going to do tomorrow. And then just really connect to your breath and do that belly button therapy. And I'll tell you, not that you can afford it, but if you want one, we give $500 off. It's called an Avicen. Go to my Light and Energy guide in the library and watch the Avicen video, and you'll find out that it increases the oxygen levels, the microcirculation, and increasing the oxygen and circulation by 100%. It does it 100% more than any other energy medicine device, and it'll increase the microcirculation by 66% in the human body. This is all scientifically studied, and it will put you to sleep. Between that and the belly button therapy, you're going out, girl, because you don't know how to get yourself from a sympathetic state into a parasympathetic state. Your vagus nerve is locked in flight, fight, fright. Okay? And if you can do that, that's great. You can also look at our Dimag Magnesium to calm yourself down. Look at Divine Vine. And please drink more water throughout the day to cool your nervous system down. And then take a look at our Ocean Essential Oils, because the fatty acids to calm the brain and to calm the nervous system and to help to repair the myelin sheath on the nervous system. There you go. But the reality is you're stuck in fright or flight. And then you're going to say, I'm not worried about anything. No, you have a program that runs without you. Because first, understand, your subconscious takes up 90% of your brain. Your subconscious is just a filing cabinet. Doesn't care if it's good or bad prominent beliefs. That's why you've got people out there going, why is he killing himself? Why is he drinking that? Why is he eating that? Why is he smoking that? Well, because the program is running him. He's not running the programs in his body, because we have actually been educated, okay? Educated into attacking ourselves and unworthiness, all right? You don't understand it when you come down here. Planet Earth is a life-threatening, fun-filled game for the whole family, only if you know the rules, that mankind cannot be trusted, and all the systems out there that are built for you to support you are contaminated. Now you're going to go, wow, he's a Debbie Downer. And I'll say, no, I'm not. I love my life. I love this world. And I love everybody on it, even those that are trying to corrupt it, because I understand that that's the game. When you play Monopoly, you're not playing Scrabble. So listen, we're playing Monopoly. So keep your eyes open so you don't end up in jail, right? On a mental or physical level. So rocking back and forth, that's right. Your nervous system's just caught in in a sympathetic state. Dr. Wolfe, will you come to Melbourne, Australia, and have a health seminar, please? I will come there. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to call me, you can call me on WhatsApp at 250-801-0133, or you can FaceTime me on my phone at that same number, or you can text me on that number. I'll come. But the reality is, I don't even care if I break even, but the reality is to fly all the way there and to do the seminar, right? That's just like somebody said the other day, please come and will somebody come and teach the non-surgical course? I said, get me 4 people and I'll send my best master trainer, Sage, and he will come and teach the course. Do you understand? With just 4 people. You know what? We'll come there if there's even 2 people to certify 2 people in a clinic, and we'll certify them for the whole Wolfe non-surgical. We'll be there for 11 days. Now, if I had 12 people who wanted to do my whole life coach certification, which is 12 days, I would come for 12 days, but I need 12 people to come there and do a seminar. All right. Call me and I can tell you what it is. I won't charge for the seminar, but I want to charge for my traveling days there, for my airfare, my hotel, and my food. All right? And you know why I want to go there? Well, because you asked me. How's that? Okay? So I will do and go wherever I can. This is why right now I've got so many people helping me. I've got 3 more master classes to bring up. I'm redoing the Braveheart. I'm redoing ITI, my International Training Institute of Health website. And that's all going to be done by September. We've got so many things going on. I'm putting everything I have back into creating foundational tools for people, even if I never see them or they never come to me. Because the reality is we are all family, and people can think that I'm BSing, that that's a dysfunctional belief, and I'm making that up. But everybody's going to find out that Dr. Wolfe really does love everybody, and he wants everybody to love themselves and understand the systems that are out there are going to kill you, and that you got to take your power back, all right? But I'll be where I can be. I'll do what I can do. We always do, all right? I'm just trying to find where I am, everybody. Here's a long one. Ovi, I am a 2-time breast cancer survivor. Okay, first of all, please don't get me wrong, okay? You're not a survivor, dear. You're a thriver. And you should not have had breast cancer come back because you didn't learn that it was total self-love, total forgiveness, and total honoring of oneself. It came back because first time you got scared and you really worked on it, but then you fell back into your old program and it came back. Now, you can debate this with me and we will lovingly debate it together, but at the end of the day, you're going to find out that I'm right because your subconscious does not want to change. Your subconscious wants you to have cancer again. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. You know what? Anything that you have anything that you do or have for 9 months, whether it's a disease or a condition, your subconscious believes that it's protecting you. Yeah, that's right. Your subconscious even gets to the point sometimes that it won't let you heal because it thinks the healing could kill you. Your subconscious is the dumbest part of us or the smartest part of us, depending what beliefs are in the subconscious. Go figure. Boom. Go figure. And I'm telling you, I've mastered this. I'm telling you right now, you give me anybody, I don't care. Get me a medical doctor, get me an oncologist, get me a psychologist, get me a psychiatrist. I'll have them come on live on my show to debate with me. But I can take a person in 1 hour that thinks their life isn't worth living or that the disease is going to take them down and prove that it's not going to. That's the reality. And the thing is out there, we are not going to water this down anymore. And the thing is that you don't know how beautiful you are. You don't know how amazing you are. And I'm not making that up. You're just totally amazing. And that was taken from you because there's a very elite group. And if you don't believe that, then you are asleep. That is controlling the whole planet. They don't even care about the money part anymore. It's all about the power of taking life or giving life or doing whatever they want. And I believe that this group actually lives off our pain and suffering like you didn't notice. So God created you, which is totally amazing, and you're amazing, unlimited potential. There's enough water, enough food. There's enough of everything. There's enough money. There's enough of everything down here. There's no war that needs to happen. There's no diseases that need to happen. Okay? There's no poverty that needs to happen. Nobody needs to starve. We throw 50% of our food away every day. We're not running out of water like we weren't running out of gas back in the 60s when they went and told us there was no gas left. The only gas that we have is the gas that comes out our rear end. We're full of it. We're full of hot air. The reality is that there is a group that lives off your pain and suffering and your children's pain and suffering and your family's pain and suffering, and they don't care. All right? We need to take it back. You need to make your home a health-free, beautiful love zone. And you need to hold the loving line and know that your family is programmed to not want this. We're all drug addicts. Like they don't put drugs in all the foods. Like there's not drugs in all the foods. Like there's not sugar cane, and that's called organic and everything now, just spiking us. Oh, no. Oh, the government can't do anything about the GMOs. The government can't do anything about the glyphosate. The government can't do anything about vaccines that haven't been tested. The government can't do anything about all the dyes and additives that are in baby food. It's wake up time. I am a 2-time breast cancer thriver, not survivor. A survivor is a victim, all right? I had a double mastectomy, 2007, a lymph dissection. And listen, when I say this, Ovi, this is not about you when you say survivor looking for attention from anyone. This is just the Cancer Society teaching you you're a survivor. And what does a survivor do? A survivor is always trying to survive, which means a survivor is like, hey, I'm James. And I'm not tearing anybody down either, because this is a really good program, but I don't think this part's great. Hi, I'm James, and I'm an alcoholic. Okay, so when's the last drink he had? 30 years ago, but you're still an alcoholic. No, I don't think so. So I think that we need to watch our words and what we say. Okay, I'll tell you what I am. I'm Darrell Wolfe. I am a spirited person, all right? And I have unlimited potential, and I am not going to react. I will take action if it means that I can help, and if I can't, I'm going to lovingly protect my heart, not tear it apart, and go and moan and groan and have a tantrum or get depressed or go around telling people how the end of the world's coming. All right. Okay. 2007, a lymph dissection right side. 2012, contracted strep. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to say something. Here's a beautiful spirit that now is getting owned by the medical system. The more you go to them, the more surgeries you have, the more drugs you take, the more you're going down that rabbit hole. The more you align yourself with nature, the more you become natural, the more imbalanced you are. And then why is she doing this? Why do we pick therapies that dishonor us? Why do we do that? Well, because we're running a hate program. There's only hate programs and love programs. That's it. There's just hate emotion, love emotion. That's it. So what are you saying, Darrell? That if I go to the doctor, I hate myself? Well, no. I'm saying that unless you take personal action and before you decide to let someone take a knife to you or toxic drugs or chemo or radiation, why don't we look at Mother Nature and God for our answer? Why not? Because we pick the therapy depending on how much we love ourselves or hate ourselves. We pick the food, we pick the person we marry, we pick the people we hang around, and we pick the habits we have depending on how much we love ourselves. You think I'm going to do heroin tonight? Do you think I'm going to go drink wine tonight and get smashed, or drink wine to the point I need to be buzzed, or I'm going to drink a few drinks because I need to calm down, or I need a few beers because I just got to calm down to be with my partner, or I got to calm down my mind because I've had a hard week? I'm prepared to have all hell break loose anytime, because that is planet Earth, and stay connected to my breath and totally love and respect this temple that I have been given by God Almighty. And I am not going to let any system, corporation, try to rock me just so they can have a piece of me. Contracted strep, species of gram positive. I mean, this is like almost died of sepsis, life-threatening. Whether you want to believe it or not, she's already gone down the medical hole. And you know what? If she didn't go to the medical system and she would have known someone that could help her, guide her back to her natural, beautiful, authentic self. But the more that you, okay, it's like this, the more that you put these toxic things into your body, and the more that you try to manipulate the body, because let me tell you something, do drugs heal? No, we know that. So what do? They numb you out. So you got to pay the piper. End of story. So why wouldn't you have an infection? Every time you do a drug, you lower your immune system. I mean, chemo totally destroys your immune system by trying to destroy the cancer. That's why, guess what? Only 2.25% of the or 2.23% of the population survive after 5 years, because you destroyed the cancer, but then the cancer comes back because the immune system's weak and you didn't detoxify the residue of the chemo out. Go figure. Would you invest into something that a 2.23 success rate? I don't think so. I'd want, that's a terrible, terrible dice to roll. Bacterial skin infection, well, that's the colon. In the arm, hand, I have terrible RSD, reflex sympathetic dystrophy syndrome, causes lasting pain, usually in the arm, on the leg, and it shows up after injury. Experience lymphatic issue. Can you tell that her whole family is like asleep? They're unconscious, that there's nobody in her life that has any common sense. None. No common sense. I didn't say they were dumb. I said there's no common sense here. All right? It's not even logical what this woman is going to go through and what she's going to go through. Okay? Whether you want to believe this or not, the reason why, you're not going to believe this. But the reason why kiddie menus, kiddie menus are pushed so much and they're so cheap, they're full of sugar and flour. And that's to get your children ready to become alcoholic and druggies. So there, take that one to the bank. You know what? It doesn't matter to me that people don't believe me, or they say that I'm a conspiracist, or I'm a terrorizer, or I'm too hard on people. I'm not trying to be hard on anyone. Everybody's hard on yourself. Today, I'm telling you, if you just even tell the truth or speak your mind, okay, you're like a terrorist. What can I take to clear dark discoloration on the face? Well, that would be cleaning out your colon, because your skin is reflex to the large intestine. I hope you know that. Skin and lungs, everyone. They really show what's going on. Your skin is the mirror to your large intestine. It truly is. I would do the Ultimate Coffee Enema. I would do Black Gold, and I would do Tummy Love and Daily Cleansing Tea. But then I would also do patting and clapping on my face. And I would also do salt glows and skin brushing, and we'll rock this thing. Okay? All right. You know what? I haven't even got to the questions yet. Okay. So everybody, you're going to have, I want to try to answer some of the questions that the other people have. So, all right. What can I take? Okay, we did that. Hilda, I had surgery a week ago, and I haven't been able to sleep since. They tell me it's from the anesthetic. How do I get, well, because the anesthetic's really acidic, and you kind of, I would get on the Ocean Essential oils. You can check them out. They're Ocean Essential fatty acids. They're the best going, and they really are. I can explain why another time if you want to call in. I'd be taking 10 in the morning, 10 at night. I'd be on magnesium or Dimag, and I'd be making blender drinks. And you better not be on any inflammatory products, Hilda. You need to get on the Perfect Day diet. And if it was me and I just went through surgery, I'd get on a celery juice, carrot juice diet with the Ocean Essentials, the Fulvic, the Tummy Love, Black Gold, and the Dimag. And you're going to, and do belly button therapy because when you do belly button therapy, where's the kit? Oh, it's not here. Do you see it, Drake? Okay. Anyways, you can go on my website to see it, but maybe we could have it here next time. And it'll release 50% of the dopamine and 70% of your serotonin. Nothing else does that. And it's free once you have and you just play with your belly button. It's the only button to push. But that's what I would be doing, because right now you got to reduce the inflammation because your nervous system is fried out. And you know this, Hilda, before you went into surgery, you were like freaked out by it, stressed out. And now you come out of the surgery and you hope everything's going to be okay. The sooner we get connected to our breath, the sooner we calm down. All right? Practice the love band. Practice the mirror work. I'm Hilda the Amazing. Look in the mirror. I can heal myself. I'm already healed. I'm the greatest healing person in the world. I can heal my body. Your body heals itself. Look at what we have seen in the last 50 years is now the human body's forgotten how to heal itself, right? That's right. Only the great white coats can do that. All right. Or us great natural therapists, we're going to come and heal you too. No, it's up to you. Take your power back. Get trained. Don't get treated, because it's going to be a mistreatment after a while, because you've got to be the owner of that physical body. You were blessed and gifted that by our universal creator. It's yours to do with. Don't mean to be a bother, but I think you kind of lost my question. What would be your best protocol for leaky gut? Well, leaky gut, I didn't lose it. No dairy, no sugar, no flour products, getting on the perfect day diet, getting on the tummy love, black gold, daily cleansing tea. And that's a really good place to start. I don't want to overburden you, but understand something. Leaky gut means you've got, what happens is not just the drilling of the holes, but you've got what they call tight junctions in your intestine. It's only one cell thick, and you're burning it out. You're with the inflammation. And those junctions are coming apart. And then what we have is trapped protein particles, chemicals, and falling through. And the fungus, if it's in there, the bad bacteria are coming through into your bloodstream. So if I had leaky gut and I really wanted to heal it like that, as long as you're not underweight, then I would go on the advanced water fast. But first I would do 6 days of carrot juice and celery juice. And then I would do 6 days of the advanced water fast. And guess what? There's leaky gut gone. Leaky gut gone. So, you know, these people that put you on these restrictive diets for candida, and then you lose all this weight and you go underweight and you feel drained, that's why. You don't do that. When you've got a digestive disorder, what would you do? If I had somebody in my family that was weak and tired and in pain, I'd say go rest. If I had a digestive tract that had that, I would say we want to rest it. Well, how would you do that? Well, you're not going to get it to have to work hard, and you're only going to put pure nourishing things in. So carrot and celery, easy enough to do. Get yourself a Breville juicer. You can buy it even used on Craigslist or somewhere else, but get yourself a Breville. I like that one the best. I bought an Angel, totally expensive, sits over here. It's too slow, and for the little bit we lose, who cares? And I would do at least 2 quarts of vegetable juice a day, and the rest would be water with fulvic and tummy love. And if your bowels aren't moving that well, use the daily cleansing tea for the first week. Then get yourself on an advanced water fast and do the Ormus, do the ATP to keep your energy at level up, the Ormus to balance out your electrolytes, the fulvic to grab onto all the heavy metals and chemicals, and none of this will turn on your digestive tract. It bypasses the Krebs cycle, and I'd be on a water fast for 6 days, and then I would say make sure that you're doing light exercises, breathing techniques, look at my book, and having rest periods, and you'll turn that around. A lot of people say, I don't have the time to do it. Well, take the time, because you'll have lots of time when you end up in the hospital. And then they say, I don't have the money. You should see how people find money that we don't have the money for this. And then the person's really desperate and they're really sick and they're on the edge. They'll call up and they'll go, we found the time, we found the money, because everybody is only going to find the amount of money and the amount of time on how much they love themselves. And then you're going to say, that's not true. We're poverty. Well, then if you are, then it's because you have poverty mentality. Because you know what? Are you going to tell me that the people that are the richest are the smartest people in the world? I don't think so. They just believe that they can make this money because it's there. Okay? So find your purpose, find your passion, and you'll find a way. And then know that you deserve everything. And if you believe you're worthless, then that's exactly what you're going to come up with. I have had fibroids for the last 5 years, and I don't know what to do. My hair is beginning to fall out. I have no children. Well, right there, did you hear what she said? I hope you get this. When people talk in your family, your loved ones, when your loved ones talk in your family, are you actually listening? I don't think so. Now, did you get what she said? She said that I have no children. She's always probably wanted children, right? Her hair is falling out. Well, that would be stress. Okay, so that would be stress. And when you get really stressed, you burn out your adrenals and you burn out your liver. Did you know that? Did you also know that she hates her life? Because the liver stands for hate. And she hates something about her life. So I would tell her that she has fibroids for the last 5 years. Well, they're in her breast or they're in her pelvis. Does anybody know why? Does anybody know why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. And it's not because her hormones are out of balance, but they are. Well, what did you just say, Darrell? You said that it's not, but it is. Well, that's right. Because what it is it's actually leaky gut. It's actually autoimmune disease, one attacking oneself. It's the acidity, the toxicity she's absorbing into her blood and into her body. And because the pelvis is like a big bowl, everything goes down with gravity, right? Not up. What goes up? Like that burp I just had. That's called gas. And that's why people will have like fake heart attacks called angina. Did you know that like over 90% of the people that run to the hospital never have a heart attack? They have a fart attack, but the fart attack is going up. And that's why, bad breath. Oh, honey, don't kiss me. Your breath smells like your bum. Well, this is gas that gets pushed up because it's in your transverse colon and it pushes up pressure. And that gas then pushes up on the heart. And so you have angina. You're not getting enough oxygen. I feel pressure around my heart. Okay, but let's get back to the fibroid. So it's all about acidity. So the acidity in her pelvis creates inflammation, which then the body has to send scar tissue down there to protect the ovaries, the uterus, the fallopian tubes, the bladder, okay, against predators. Because if you've got inflammation, that's weakened tissue. Now the bad bacteria, the viruses, the fungus, the worms, they all want to go in there and they want to breed in there because what? Because they all come to a parasite party where tissue is dying, decomposing. So understand, inflamed tissue that's been inflamed over time, even just a few days, is decomposing. Did you get that? So it's weakened. What did I tell you about the predator? Always goes in after the weak. All right, so now the fibrin comes in and the calcium is being pulled from the hips and the pelvis to create a cement wall to block the parasites along with the scar tissue. The calcium gets wrapped in the scar tissue. The lactic and uric acid gets drawn in there too from the inflammation, and that sticks the scar tissue together and the calcium to create a wall to get the predators out, keep the inflammation in. But the problem is if it continues, it creates a wall around, and that wall is called a fibroid, and it wraps around the ovaries, wraps around the uterus, the bladder, the fallopian tubes, like one big ball, one big mess. And that's the fibroids. So people aren't getting treated properly, but tell me they're getting treated properly even in the natural health field. How many people are going to go in there and lovingly pull apart that fibroid to allow the lymph, allow the blood, allow the energy flow to come in and to get the calcium, the displaced calcium, and there's only one product that'll do it, get it back into the bones. It's called SAC calcium. You can call us about it if you want, or go into our library and go to the SAC calcium guide and watch the videos and then be blown away about what we do. And then what we do is bring up the temperature, bring up the flow, and the lactic and the uric acid gets carried back into the lymph and dumped away. And now the fibro scar tissue instantaneously before your eyes turns back into beautiful connective tissue. There. That's that. And I have no children. Well, yes, you do. You have a little girl inside of you that wants to come out and play. So why don't you love her? Allow her to come out and play. And then love her and treat her with honor, respect, and know that she deserves all your attention. So fill your heart up first and allow that little girl to come out and play. And then see how beautiful and how fast you can heal. All right? Also, with the fibroids, you really do need to go and go to my website, go to the top, click on Masterclass, put the word master in the code where it says apply. You'll have to put your Visa in. I won't take a penny. And go in there and read the first pages from 5 to 40, and then go and look at the pelvis and the breast, because I don't know where your fibroids are, but understand you've got fibroids in your pelvis before you ever have them in your breast. Your ovaries are like the guy that goes to the fair and he hits the hammer down on the ovaries and up goes ding, and the bells are your breast. So you first have a problem here and then it goes off here. That's just like when you have painful periods. We know the pelvis is congested and you're unable to get rid of the blood effectively because you're not in the flow of the flow, the menstrual flow. So your breasts, they blow and you get this pain here. And you're going to go, that's not true. It's just hormones. And I'm telling you, yes, it's hormones, but it's because of the toxicity that you're out of balance. And almost every natural person and every doctor is going to go straight to the hormones, and they're not going to get the cork out of your butt. There you go. All right, I think we made it. What's the number one can reach you on? Oh, but do me a favor. Do me a favor, okay? If you're calling overseas, you can call tomorrow, which is Saturday. If you're calling international in North America, then please wait until Monday, okay? Because when I finish this show, you got to understand something. I love what I do, but I also love me, and that's what I need. I need to pull back, all right? And everybody knows that I answer everybody's questions. I have about 8 more questions that I'm going to clean up tomorrow, which is Saturday. And I'm going to continually do this until I can no longer do this. But I've always done this, and we're old school here in the way that, you know what? Let's not pretend we're in the health business. Let's be in the business of health. I had a full body ultrasound. What time is it? Let me see here. 4:30. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, everybody. I'm going to go for only 15 more minutes, okay, Drake? Because my guys have been here since 7:30 this morning with video shooting, and I need to honor them too. So, and then Monday, I'd rather do a Q&A on Monday, okay? We'll do a Q&A on Monday at 3 o'clock. You don't have to watch it, but if I didn't answer your questions, I'm going to answer the rest on Monday, and any other questions that come in, I can't leave them till the following Monday. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Mondays again. It's just that sometimes I get bounced out when I have like somebody really big on that people want to ask them questions. I give them my Monday. I had a full body ultrasound done about 9 months ago, and my uterus was tipped completely the opposite way it should be. And because of this, I have a cyst on both ovaries because they are trying to ovulate but can't. That is not true. Okay, that is not true. So you're going to tell me that the doctor told you because you're trying to ovulate, okay, that your uterus tipped completely the opposite way. Wow. I'll tell you what a tantrum that would be, eh? That's what's called really having a tantrum. No. What happens is the uterus tips the other way because of the inflammation. So think about it. My hand can be like this. But what happens if I get inflammation and arthritis in my hand? Well, isn't it like this, contracted? It will be. Oh, guess what I'm doing next week? Hey, Drake, we're going to be doing that lady. Her hand's all twisted with arthritis, and I'm going to show you in one treatment. I'm going to make and change it by at least 40%. And I'm telling you, her hand is like this. Okay? Anyways, it's the inflammation that actually causes the uterus to tip. Now, here's the deal. Inflammation causes contraction. And when it's contracted for too long, it cuts down the circulation. So even though the uterus is contracted, the circulation is going to cause lack of oxygen, lack of nutrition, a buildup of uric and lactic acid, scar tissue and crystallization. And guess what happens? Now there's no tone. So you lose the tone, meaning healthy muscle tone in the uterus, and you get it filled with scar tissue, crystallization, inflammation. It will actually twist itself back the opposite way. That's the truth. It's not because the ovaries could not, it's not because of that. Okay, and because of this, I have a cyst on both ovaries. Okay, do you know what a cyst is? Why we get a cyst? That's not why. We get a cyst because a cyst is collecting pus, which is the bacteria and the infection. And the cyst will grow as big as it needs to store it because it doesn't want it swimming around the uterus and the ovaries so that you become infertile. And understand something, as soon as we start to cleanse the colon, the liver, and go down there and use the non-surgical to start lovingly pull the scar tissue apart, increase the circulation, we can actually, that cyst will dissolve. You heard what I said. You heard what I said. And it's not going to poison you either. That'll be carried away because your circulation is there. If the cyst were to blow or open up and you didn't have any circulation, it's just going to sit stagnant. Now, what happens if we open everything up and we increase your circulation by, let's say, I don't know, 80%? Well, then that inflammation, infection is just going to be carried away really easy. So understand that. And we do this all the time, all right? And I guarantee you, if I went in on that woman right now, she would have 2 baby fists of scar tissue sitting right beside her ovaries that nobody has even talked about. And that's been trying to protect her ovaries. And that's what we would take apart. Cyst on both ovaries because they are trying to ovulate but can't ever finish the cycle. You can't finish the cycle because of the toxins. Not because of that. Because of the hormonal imbalance caused by the tip uterus. At least this is what I was told by the lady that did the ultrasound. And it has been that way for 10 years. I have had pain during the ovulation for 10 years. It started after my first baby was born. Yeah, I believe all that. And I will tell you that we'll probably get the uterus to come back somewhat, but not all the way. But I'm telling you that you will not have pain and you will feel normal if you embrace nature and the healing powers of your body, okay? Which I'm not going to go into right now because I've talked about it so much, and I don't want to keep talking about products. Shelly, I am 5'3", and I weigh 190 pounds. My blood type is 0, and every time I have a bowel movement, I have a hard time breathing, and the bigger the bowel movement I have, the harder it is for me to breathe. Well, that's because you're so toxic. She's 5'3", which means that basically, if anybody really wants to know, she is 70 pounds overweight. That 70 pounds overweight is inflammation. And we know that inflammation is like a fire, and fire will eat up oxygen. Any fireplace needs oxygen or it wouldn't exist. So it's eating up the oxygen in her. And to have the bowel movement, okay, she's pushing down, all right? And there's not enough oxygen in her body or enough energy to do it properly. And it makes her feel like she wants to faint. And also, that's how toxic she is in her bowels. All right, but come on. You can't have 70 pounds of inflammation. That's what that is. It's not fat. It's water and fat cells. And all of this is causing scar tissue because the worst... Okay, so first, we retain water to dilute the toxins. Then we make fat cells to store the toxins because we could have a heart attack, stroke, diabetes, or some other critical illness. Then what happens, the body makes scar tissue because scar tissue holds the worst toxins, heavy metals, more than any other place in the body. So we got to get rid of that to get rid of that. And also, when you have this much weight and this much inflammation, she's got so much blockage down here that she has to really work to have a bowel movement. So the bigger the bowel movement, the harder she has to work. The harder she has to work, she's ready to faint because there's so many physical blocks because guaranteed, her bowel does not look like this. Up, over, down, and then out. Her bowel's whoop, whoop, falling down here like a valley in the middle because just think, all that weight in her abdomen, it's just pushing her, pulling her intestines down and out. I guarantee there's like a whole couple handfuls of just fat and tissue that's hanging over her tummy. And if it's not, it's sticking straight out, and she's ready to blow. Okay? So anyways, to work and get that bowel movement out is like labor. All right. So understand this. For every, what did I want to say here? Yeah. For every pound that you're overweight, that's 4 pounds pressure. 4 pounds pressure that's on her whole pelvis and on every joint in the body. Did you get that? Okay. Julie, statins make me ill. Statins are a class of drugs, everybody, often prescribed by doctors to help lower cholesterol levels in the blood. Okay, and they have side effects, like this lady's on statins, and the side effects are headaches, difficulty sleeping, flushing of the skin, muscle aches and weakness, drowsiness, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. I had to stop taking them because my GP said I'm at high risk because of my genetics. I don't believe in genetics. Sorry. And diet won't change it. You know what? Let me tell you something. I don't believe in genetics that she got it from the cholesterol because mommy had it. No, she just has the same diet habits that her mother or father have, and diet will change it. Let me just tell you this. I don't know who your specialist is, but just for the fun of it, Julie, I'll tell you what. I want you to tell your specialist to come on show with me on the Doc of Detox show, and I want him to discuss and tell all my audience why genetics, she's predisposed to having cholesterol problems, and why diet isn't going to change it, because he's absolutely wrong. I can't wait to have him. Okay, specialist said there's another drug that will help me, but it will cause constipation. She's already constipated. And understand something, the only reason why you create extra cholesterol is because you're so acidic that you're drawing the minerals, and the acidity is drawing the minerals out of your arteries, and it's causing cracks. And cholesterol is like candle wax to goop up the cracks in the arteries. You're always going to make cholesterol. It's natural. It's beautiful. It saves lives. But too much of it gums you up. So that's because you're so acidic, and we've got to have that cholesterol because we don't want to blow an artery, do we? Okay, so he said if I take this other drug, it'll cause me constipation and IBS. Well, he's right about that. Please help me. I have so many allergies and intolerances. You don't have allergies. You have a weakened immune system. Your digestive tract is breaking down, and you're unable to either break things down in the air, in your food, or in the water because your immune system is in a free flight crash. All right. My C-section wasn't a happy event, and now suffering with having postpartum depression. All right. Okay, so depression is too much anxiety, too much fear. The body's got the brain has to shut down so you don't stroke out, and then you go into depression. That's what depression is. And you know what? If you want to get out of depression with someone, you've got to physically help them come up first, and then emotionally get them to start focusing on what they want in their life and not how their life sucks. And I know that's a really quick answer, and I don't mean to just slough you off like that. But go to my Braveheart 12 Loving Steps that's in my library. Watch that and read it and start doing the couples connection with your husband. I mean, when's the last time you looked in your husband's eyes or he looked in your eyes for more than 5 seconds? I want you to do it for 10 to 20 minutes every night for 33 days and find out how your health changes. Find out how you connect on a spirit level. Start doing the mirror work and get yourself ordered some love bands, everyone. 3, 2, 1, I got this. This is a love band. This is a hug because I love myself and I don't care what anybody thinks. Okay? And I'm kissing myself right now, and I can do it in public without getting locked away that I'm insane, because who in the hell would want to love themselves? Well, that would be me, and that should be you if you want to protect yourself. And the day you stop loving yourself is the day that everybody rolls all over you, even your family, and the day that you'll opt for treatments that are hate programs. So This is called, this says Braveheart, 3, 2, 1, I got this. Because when you get a negative thought, if you go and count backwards, 3, 2, 1, I got this, and you do this, it brings it up into your conscious mind, which stops you from doing the same old program, because you're not going to heal with the same old brain that caused the disease, are you? It's like a relationship. You're not going to have a better relationship with the same personality that you have. If you're not willing to change your personality, then you'll never have a good relationship with yourself and a great one with your loved ones. Okay, Julie, this will be the last question for today. Okay? And if there's any more that come in on the phone or any more that are left, I feel like I'm rushing, and then I don't want you to feel like I'm disrespecting you. Can you catch shingles? Nope. Can you catch shingles more than once? You don't really catch shingles, okay? And are they contagious? No, they're not contagious. And yeah, you can get shingles over and over and over again. But shingles are caused because, here we go again. Okay. Shingles are caused because you blew yourself out stress-wise and your diet. You know, more people called with shingles the week after Christmas than all year. And that's because it's so stressful trying to be there for everyone, do everything. And alcohol, sugar, flour, dairy, anything that brings inflammation. What you do is you blew out your nervous system. And everybody has the shingles virus in them. Okay? Everybody has almost every bad bacteria, virus that's ever been on this planet. They cannot do anything to you until you create an environment for them to attack you. Just like the coronavirus, everyone. I'm going to do another coronavirus one a day, probably next week. Not to panic anyone, because panic is what causes you to get everything you've ever not wanted. All right? You know, the last time you worried about something you didn't want, you probably got it. Okay? Because you are the creator of your life. So we're going to go through everything that you should do to protect yourself. I said to everyone, all you got to do is just totally love yourself, fill your heart up with love, do the perfect day diet, which is has intermittent fasting, and follow those guidelines as much as you can. Do 1 day a week where you do a 24-hour water fast, and then try to do at least every 3 months a 6-day water fast, and then try to add vegetable juice, 1 quart a day of carrot, maybe some celery, a little bit of apple to your life. Why don't you just live a really beautiful, healthy diet and stop having a 4-inch mentality, okay, 4 inches of pleasure for 30 feet of hell. All right? Anyways, thanks everybody. And it's Friday night. What a delight. We made it. Go to my website, check out The Perfect Day, like I said. Okay? Page 37, and read about 20 pages. Watch the video if you'd like. Go do my Braveheart 12 Loving Steps, and that's in the library as well. You can watch it or read it, and then try to do some of them. Try to do the mirror work. Try to do the love band. And if you don't have a partner, do the personal connection in front of a mirror. Practice that. And what's that? I'll make it short. Today and every day, I will love, protect, respect, and honor myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, so help me God. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm taking away the love from my family, because you can't give what you don't have. You're going to give what you are. If you were total love, you're going to give total love. If you give total forgiveness to yourself, you're going to give that to others. If you judge yourself, that's why you judge others, because you're always judging yourself. When somebody says, oh my God, she's so hard on me, she judges me, I go, yeah, don't take it personal. She's judging herself, so that's why she judges you. Yeah, but what am I supposed to do? Well, stand up for yourself and say, I love you, but stop. I love you, but stop this. You know, the day that you really want to honor, respect, and protect yourself, you'll understand that you might have to distance yourself from relatives or friends that you think are friends. And the reality is A lot of times, if you want to get well, you're not going to like this, but if you want to get well and really healthy, you might have to, well, you will have to. There's no might. Sorry about that. You will have to find new friends. Maybe not all of them, because maybe you have a friend that's been a friend with you forever and she's like in line with you. But that's like any relationship. You know, we come together, we fall in love. Oh my God, I'm so in love. And then guess what? We grow apart because one person's tried to heal themselves and the other person's running a program that they don't believe they deserve it. But they don't think about this on a conscious level. Why do you think it's all these women that come to us and drag the men, or they come with their sisters, or they come with their mothers, or they come with their daughters? I mean, honestly, you might as well just, I'll tell the truth. Probably 90 to 95% of the people that come for our personal treatment and training, or that we go out there and train, are women, because they're the caregivers. And understand something, you caregiving women, I'm going to tell you something right now. You need to take your power back, and you need to understand something. You've been given a fraudulent manual from the healthcare system, and you've been given a fraudulent manual when it comes to love and to how to care for yourself and your family. That's why you're so frustrated and so heartbroken, and you're so and it's like, wow, I can't even look after my family, but you keep handing them off to other people that aren't doing a very good job either. So the reality is don't believe me, but believe in nature, believe in God, and believe in yourself. God bless, and thank you for joining me. And don't forget that we will be back here on Monday, and that next Wednesday is Spoiled Rotten, the All-American Couple. You'll enjoy it. It's funny. And then the next week after that, it's called Break from the Herd or Go to the Butcher. Okay? And I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. God bless, and know that if I stirred something up in you, I only meant to do it in a beautiful way. And people will say, I don't like them. And that's okay. You don't have to like me. But my job is for you to fall in love with yourself. God bless, and good night. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.